G'day and welcome to Home Cooking Down Under. Today we're going to make some Hungry Jack's inspired sausage rolls. What is that, you ask? Well, let me show you. So for today we're going to be using a Whopper, a Bacon Deluxe, 2 large chips, plus some other little extra bits I'm going to put in. I'm going to put in some grated Parmesan cheese and an egg. That's just to bind everything together. Now let's begin. Right, 2 chips in the blender. We have the Whopper in, we have the Bacon Deluxe in. Now I'm going to add the Parmesan cheese, move this across a bit, and the egg. And this is the end result. We blended it for about a minute, and this is the sort of consistency you need, because traditionally sausage rolls are made of mincemeat and a few other ingredients, but it's all in here. So you've got your mince, you've got your veggies, you have your bread, you have your cheese. Perfect, that's all done, and the egg. So there you go. And at this stage now, we have to switch on our oven. So, if you have convection, you're looking at about 220 degrees. If you have fan forced, around the 200 degrees. So that's obviously going to warm up really nicely. And your last ingredient is your puff pastry. Now, these are just sheets that you can buy frozen from your local supermarket. Very cheap, very versatile. I use this in a lot of my cooking, and obviously we're using this to make our sausage rolls. You can make your puff pastry from scratch, but hey, too difficult. And in this kitchen, we cook smarter, not harder. Now, obviously we need to separate the sheets. So just use a knife on the corner and just separate like that. Be careful because you can break it. Like that, that's one. Let's go in here. And make sure you keep the plastic on. We need the plastic in order to roll the sausage rolls. Okay, now we're ready to do it. All right, see, now I just added the 2 eggs to the filling. It was just a little bit too dry for my liking. So now that's the sort of consistency you need. It has to be malleable and a bit wet. That's perfect. Now, what you've got to do now is put in the filling halfway down the sheet, just like that. Okay, and now we're ready to roll. Now, obviously, that's about right. It's thawed out just enough so they're malleable enough to roll, and that's where you want to be at before you start rolling. If you do it when it's too hard, it does tend to break. So now this is how I've rolled the first one, and this is what it should look like. So now I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay, so you grab the sheet off the plastic and you roll it over the meat like that. Okay, then using the plastic, you roll it, pushing this forward and pushing this back, and just like that. Take it over a little bit, and then with your fingers, putting a bit of pressure down the bottom, just like that. Now I've got 2 baking trays ready, and I've just put on some baking paper, because if you don't put down the baking paper, and if you put the sausage rolls onto the pan itself, they're actually going to stick, and it's no good, and you will end up with terrible sausage rolls. Now, if you want a monster sausage roll, you can just leave it like that. That's up to you, but I'll cut it into more suitable size. There we go. Now, once you do that, make sure that you just push in the meat just a little bit off the edge here, and on the other side with the pastry, just crimp it like that, because obviously the pastry will puff up a little bit, just like that. And there you have it, my sausage roll ready to go. And because I have kids, they love mini sausage rolls, so I'm actually going to cut this into 4. So down the middle here, half of that and half of that. There we go. Now, same procedure as the other ones. Make sure it crimps over a little bit, push the meat in a little bit, crimping the pastry, just like that. And there you have mini sausage roll. And now the last procedure before you put the sausage rolls in the oven, it's egg wash. You need to give it a bit of an egg wash. So 1 egg, just going to beat it, brushing the egg over the pastry, just like that. You don't need too much, just as long as there's a slight change of color. It goes a bit slightly orange. That's what you need to see. And here we go. This is the end result before you put the sausage rolls into the oven to cook. So out of our 2 burgers and our 2 chips, the 3 eggs and a bit of cheese, we managed to make 4 full-size sausage rolls and 8 mini sausage rolls. Okay, now we're ready to put them in the oven. So straight in, 1 and 2. They're going to take about between 30 to 40 minutes to cook. I just like to check them every 5 minutes or so just to see how they're going. They've got to have that nice browny, flaky color to it. So once it's done, I'll show you the end result. Okay, this has been about half an hour in the oven. It's not quite ready to go. As you can see, there's still a bit of light on the pastry itself, but as you can see, look how it's puffed up. See? The puff pastry is just fantastic to do these sausage rolls. So I'm actually going to put these back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll show you the end result. And there we go. Gourmet sausage rolls with a fast food filling. And look at the color. That's absolutely perfect. Nice, beautiful brown. It's all puffed up beautifully. Perfect. That's exactly what you need to see. The last thing to do now is to eat. So put onto the plate. Beautiful. A couple of the minis. And there you go, splash of sauce, ready to eat. Now, don't have to use the Hungry Jack's burgers that I did. You can use any burgers you like, McDonald's, whatever. Experiment, try different combinations, see how you go. Because I like to hear about it on my Facebook page, at Home Cooking Down Under. All right, kids, how are we enjoying that?
So good. What's in here?
Would you believe I made it out of the Hungry Jack's burgers and chips?
What? So good. You should try it. Did you like today's recipe? Well, if you did, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on post notification to know when a new video has been uploaded. And by the way, this is my artwork. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Home Cooking Down Under.